Multiply your float by this factor to convert fixed point. Fixed value round. So your value 32 number of fractional bits, integer storing example. But how do we get the fractional? Say we have pi and we want. Okay, so this is x. Yeah, so then you move and then plus 0.5. What? And then 65536. Yes. Store as integer to get float back. But how do you... No, because now you store... What? Doesn't this actually just... No, I think it's tripping right now, because you're supposed to take... Ain't no way. Because this is supposed to be... Or can you just... Is this actually stored the same way? That's crazy. Always watch out for overflow. If your float exceeds the integer part... Okay. Let's try. Go to main. But can I actually just... If I have, let's say, const... I'm gonna write it here and I'm gonna say test. I'm gonna call test, I'm gonna call it 3.14. Let's just call it a F32. Like so. And then I store it as a I32. So we'll just say fixed I32 is equal to, and then I. And then I should be able to do... I cannot do an int cast on this. Well, if I do a bit shift. I'll go with the same approach. 16. Is it actually just that? Wait, so you take this thing, you... Ah, yeah, and you bit shift that value and then you store it in there. Then I would have to do an at int cast on this. And then std debug. No, log. Float. Plot, yes, good. So we provide that one with pi. Actually, I can say F2, and then we'll provide D still. Paste, and then this one is I32 fixed. Actually, let's take this down to before we go into the while loop, because otherwise it will be overwritten by a lot of other messages. Okay. Expected integer or vector found F32. I would like to bit shift the actual or multiply. Cannot multiply this thing. And then I should, well, what the fuck? Okay, well we can also just go with the, say it was a smaller value, so we just do 256. Well then this should, or actually we can just take it straight from here.
Lucas, I'm gonna send you the prettiest add init function you'll ever see.
I don't know about that.
Nice, look at it, bro. It's so nice.
Can I not? Why can I not just multiply if? Oh.
Private DMs.
Private DMs. The itself, protocols, items, protocol, ID types, dinit, events, dinit, protocol structure, item structures. The memory management in my scanner is supreme. Wait, so you're like taking in. What the fuck? You're doing at structure. What does that even mean?
Yep.
In the capture?
Yeah, yep. Anyways, it is that a name, baby. 1 sec.
Expected an integer or vector found F32. Ah, my bad, I'm down. Float from int. No, int from float. From float. And then I should actually be fine to do this. But maybe I'm just dumb.
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm done.
I don't think I've ever had an executable with this like advanced memory management or like so shit. It's like C++.
Incompatible type.
Like everything is a heap.
How is this registered as a bool?
Let's see your streamer. Well, it's less than.
Ah, I thought I had two. I didn't see. Okay, now. Okay. Oh. Oh yeah, that's because the server is not running. But yeah, that's fine. Okay. But I'm confused now, because if I... That's not how... That's just... That's... I just... How do I actually store both the floating point and the actual integer? That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around right now, because shouldn't I have like fixed point with the powers of 2 or negative powers, 2 to the negative power for the fractions, and that's, yeah, that's how I remember it. But I cannot, and this AI is not really doing the right thing. I think it's doing it completely wrong. To store 3 in the integer field left side, whatever, and the fraction should somehow get the right side as to the negative n. That's the conceptual view of fixed point number, but in actual implementation, usually all stored in a single integer, with the integer part and fractional part just being implied by the scale. Yeah, but I cannot do it because that integer part stored in the 16, fractional stored in the lower 16, stored as a 32-bit. Integer part, yes, that's what I would like to do. Fractional part. But how do I actually... No. Combine this is the actual integer. You are wrong. Ain't no way that's how it's done. Meaning I can floor get the integer, but how do I go about storing the float? The diesel with powers which raw structure is arbitrarily, I don't know how to spell that. Just scale the float in an integer. You want to convert the f2 into a fixed point representing where the integer is point not just a rough scale approximation. Yes, the tricky part is that an f32 is a binary floating point sign mantisa. Can't just slice it bits into integer and fraction directly. You need to extract the integer and fractional parts from the float, then pass. Yeah, so if you just cast it on int, then you will have that. Ah, okay. But yeah, now we got this, the fractional. This ensures the integer is correct, no rounding. Yeah, but how do I go about convert? So fractional part, but this scales the fraction into lower. Oh, that will not do it, because now you're bit shifting it to the larger part at 0.5 and for rounding. Fixed point value, int part. Or fixed, fract fixed, and import goes into the top, goes into the bottom. Now you have a real fixed point, but does that actually work? Because like 0.14. Okay, so yeah, so if you have a, you will put that in the upper 16, and then this will come in the. But why would you? Oh yeah, so then you would have the and then you would or. Okay, that would be fine, I guess. Zig still try to. How does the track port become actual 2 minus n? And we still working with IEEE. What was it? 637? I don't know. 736. IEEE. 736. What was it? I don't remember. 754. Has the piece and an exponent that may not. Yes, that's exactly so. Let me clarify. The key, you are no longer storing the float in form, you are convert. Yes, that's what I want to do, but you cannot just arbitrarily take it from there. So the representative only matters while you're reading the float. After you scale it, you only have an integer. Suppose, and you want fractional part. Yes. Float cast. Is exactly the integer, is exactly the fraction. Float subtraction gives the exact remainder. Okay, remainder. Seal the fraction. So I guess, yeah, because IEE754 should store just the mantissa. In that sense, I guess. Let's see. And fractional frac fixed. Each increment that represents. Sure. This is why fractional part now behaves like everything integer increment effect plus. Okay. Okay. Let's try that. Int part 32. Well, that will basically just be int at int on float, and we can pass it pi, and then const right part be an f32, and then it will just be int part minus the initial value, but this is actually and well, now we just have them separately, right? We have the integer as an I and then a float as a floating point. And now I would like to store in the upper part the I16 and the lower the float. Can I not just now take in immediately the float, or what did they do? Let's see. Because they got this int fract exactly fraction float subtraction gives the exact remainder. Scale the fraction into okay, yes. So, but you cannot. Why would we do this? This is what I don't understand. Why not just immediately jump to this part? Each increment represents one. There's a frac fixed. This part, I don't understand. Oh wait, because it's an I32, right? Then it actually makes sense. No, because we're gonna store it in an I32 anyways. So now what we would like to do is yes. So fixed.
Yes, I'll be that one because I got that.
All right.
Study and shit. So yeah.
Do that.
See you later.
See you later, alligator. So frac part multiplied by, and then we're gonna bit shift it by 16, and we should see it seems to be fine. So then we will have the fractional part. So I'm gonna take this and say for fixed part, and that's gonna be the fixed frac. Yeah, okay, that's actually a fixed frac, not bad. Like so, we will have the fixed part or fixed fractional there, and then now that we got this, we can actually create the real fixed, which will be let's see, because now we want in the upper half we want the int part, so we're gonna shift it by 1/16, and I like the approach they did actually with the pipe. So OR it with the fixed frac like so, which will be AND with, wait, what was it? 0 FFFF. Was it too many? No, that's it. And then we have to do this one first. So basically this one just shifts it. It shifts, it multiplies it by the shift, so we're gonna put it to the upper 16, and then we're gonna pipe it, basically doing OR, and that means that if it's a 1 on either of these two sides, it will stay a 1, and this one will basically, before it goes through that, it's gonna check this thing, take this part which has just been converted to an integer basically, and this is for the lower 16, and it's gonna, I should probably, well, we'll see. And then, because here now this means that all of them are 1s, and it's gonna end it, so now both of these has to be a 1. So now that means that the upper part will be 1. Hey, hold on. But that will be quite... Yeah, that will be a problem. Wait, F... Yeah, that's 256. Or am I... No. Yeah, I'm right. Yes, good. This is 16. Yeah. So no, it will be 0. And then we will just take this, and then as long as this doesn't get, but it shouldn't be able to get. Can it? Oh, we'll see. And then we will put that in the lower half, and then it will pipe, basically put them together. Yeah. So let's see. Print a pi. And this is fixed. Int part, frac part, frac. Let's see, do the right thing. So, invalid operator binary of bitwise expression float comp time int. It doesn't like the comp time. Wait, how did I solve this thing? I don't remember. Let's see. Or did it provide here? Okay, I'm gonna ask it just like, whoa. Let's see. Version 6 strong type. You cannot bitwise upload. That means no, you can, but you just cannot do it with the comp time. Donkey. Fixed. Wait, am I doing this fixed? Oh yeah, this one should be a I32, I forgot. And then we'll have to do a... Wait, let me see, do we have them right? So this is the actual float, this is the int. This is the fractional part now. And then I want the fixed fract. Yeah. And how do I actually go about this? We want to prevent float value from portions type I32. Yeah, but I multiplied, so yeah, it's just a int from float. Like so. Let's see. That's fine. So we got this, and then I have a negative one there. That's not good. Why did it become a negative value? Oh wait, because it was, I need the other way around. So pi minus this. Yeah, so yeah. And that's fine. And then here. And now if I wanted to get it back, let's separate it all again. Let's see, I will have to do a what shall I call? So I got the fixed now, and let's say I wanted to get the, if I want the integer part, yeah, I can literally just go, the integer part I can usually get just by going std log debug integer part integer integer part, and that we can get by just going in here, do this, and then we can take the fixed, and this one we're gonna bit shift it to the right. It's literally just the same thing at way as just, is it do you write them in the same, like, no, it has to be the other way. It's like this 6, is it like that, right? I will find out. It should give me the integer part, unless if I have the symbols in the wrong order, but let's see. Yeah, I got them in the wrong order, because it should get, I'm thinking it should shift the whole thing to the right, unless, no, and then I should be left with the integer part, which, right, is, no, it should be that. So yeah, let's see. No, wait, what? If I store, let's say, if I simplify it, right? If I store here on this side, and that's the fractional, this is the integer part. Let's say it was 16 here, and then I shift all of that 16 bits, so then it should be on this side, and when I print it, this all should be zeroed, and this should only contain the integer part. And it's an I32, so yeah. The only problem if it's a negative one, I just realized I'm gonna have some problems here. Well, I guess I can store it, but we will see. Why is this not fine? Ah, because I was supposed to take this. Yeah, okay, and then I probably had it the right way the first time, but I just rather. No, still doing the complete wrong thing. Why? Shouldn't that be it? Or can I wait? Shouldn't it actually be? No? What? I swear to God, I'm about to lose some brain cells right now. This is weird. Okay, there it works. So it is like that. So that's how I get the integer part. And, well, another way I could do it is also, I could just do, and then frac part. And what we can do here, we can and 0x, and now we just want the fractional part, so we'll go 0, 0, 0, f, 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 f. Let's see if I'm stupid or... So, fractional part, yeah, we got it back like that, and then we can take it care. We could also do the same thing for this one by doing this 0x, f, 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 0, 0, 0. Did I do the wrong? Cannot represent integer. Did I do the wrong thing? That should be the same. I'm not gonna do it in binary, that's gonna be stupid. But why did this thing work? This should be the same. Just different mask. But yeah, with that, we can now just do the reverse. So now we got the float or like the fixed float. So now we should be able to just divide it by the same 1/16, and we have to do it as f32. Will this be correct? Right, forgot. Let's see. No, wrong, okay. Wait, because we got that. Right, it's not this thing I want to do as it is, right, but I just have to do this thing and then it should be fine. Let's see. Oh wait, I have to do probably, oh, okay, it worked. And, well, lost a bit of precision there. That's okay, I guess. I don't know if this is actually the way I should be doing it. It's the way I could think of doing it. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this from here. And we're gonna go into the shared, and I think I will create a structure in here. Well, this is the net. Well, it is only due to net transportation that I got this thing. There's no other reason. I wouldn't use this in normal calculations. It's only because we actually need to transport data over the network. So, public const, and I'm gonna call it fixed point structure. And we're gonna have all of this information in here, just a bit. So now the question is, what kind of I don't want too many floating points. I don't need that many, right? So what we could do is we could store it as we could actually make it quite generic and during compile time create different types of these. But I'm just gonna hard code it right now. Thinking floating point, I only need the precision up to like wait, 8 bits. If even that. So we can do integer, or I can store both of them in here, and then I can do, yeah, I store both in them, but then I do the translation. So I just say I'm gonna call it data because this will be the actual thing, and I think we can do an I16. Yeah. And then we can say a public function save. And well, I'm gonna take just F32s for now. We can probably make it more generic, but save value. And we'll have to take in self. I prefer always to do a pointer, even though for this case it wouldn't even be necessary. But and then here, so this is now basically our pi that we get in. So we can take so. Yeah, this should actually be using font time. Toggle between container and fields. What the fuck? Am I not inside of the... Ah. So pi would be our actual value. I'm just gonna go like this so we can try it out. Value, and then we're gonna value, and so now we get the integer part, and then we'll get the fractional part, and I don't want to. What we're gonna do in here is we're gonna store const int shift. I think that it has to be a U size if I'm gonna be using it. Let's see, i32 is equal 10. So then we will have int shift. So then that means we will have a 10 bits for integer value and 6 bits for the fractional part. Tar. Let's see. And wait, is it then just 2 to the power of 9? How do I get 9? Well, that's never gonna be enough. We need something more. Well, that's wrong. Where's Daisy there? To the power of 12? Still, that's nothing. 2 to the power of 16. That's more something probably that is even enough for whatever I'm trying to do. But then I would have to store more than just 16. And I would basically i32. And then I could just pass i32 either way. Well, let's see. Then this will just be value. And then the part that will store, we can do 22, and then we'll store 10 for the fraction for now. And we'll get that. This will be the same then. And fixed int part. Am I thinking this right now? Fixed fractional part. No, I'm thinking it wrong. But this one is okay, int shift. Because this one we want to shift to the upper. No, now this is going the wrong way. Because this should actually be the other way. This one should only be shifted by 10. And then the lower half, okay, shit. This didn't go as planned. Let's just do 16. Don't think about it too much. But then I could literally just pass it as a 16. I don't know why we did it so confusing over here with this thing. If I just can just write int. Yeah, but int from float, it kind of discards the float point.
Brother.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
What if I did a bitcast instead? I'm gonna try that out before, let's see. Okay. Float. Okay. That's not good. Okay, maybe because what I'm doing right now is not even gonna be to any benefit unless if I actually make it a smaller type than an I-32. But I wonder, what if I did a... Yeah, we can try this. It's ours. Right. Truncate fractional fixed number when converting the 100%. To properly restore float while preserving its fractional part, you need to write the raw bits of the float directly. Let me check. You're using infloat, which truncates the float. It's really having problems. But I wonder, because... I mean, I could do this. But it's still like, why not just... Well, I guess it would be more ideal to also have this because it would be less prone to errors. If I had less, like... Well, we didn't see, we kind of had the opposite, we had more errors last time. But yeah, if I had a, like, let's say 4 bits, there would be only 4, like, 2 to the power of, wait, 3 to get, like, the precision. Which would probably be more than enough, or would be enough, and it would also be less prone to error, or because there's only, yeah. Let's see. Keeping seeing multiplayer RTS, multiplayer games, and floating point. Floating point in networking. 2000 floating point numbers are a common source of issues in large. The fixed floating point determines it. I cannot find any of fixed point. Why is it so hard to find fixed floating point? But that would be like a very common thing to just come across and see implementations and examples, but no. There's just a lot of articles about it, but not really anything that just says there's a difference between them. Like, thanks, I knew there's a difference between them, but not that what I'm searching right now. Fixed point representation. Comparing. Why fixed point won't cure your floating point blues. Hello, ex Dragon Ghost. Illustration. What the hell is it trying to do? Signature. I don't want it, I just wanted to explain to me kind of like how... I mean, I guess it would be nice, but wait, it's actually just doing a demonstration. Why would it do that? That's not... What the fuck? Let's see, converting fixed point versus floating point. No, again, I'm not so sorry for the verses. I'm trying to find just someone who has done an example. Okay, let's see, Git. Converting floating point number to fixed point number. Need to check. Let's see. Float and printf. Float to fix. Let's see. Short int part frac part int float. And then fixed bit. Just 12. This one returns a short int. Okay. And then it just goes through n being... What are the benefits of using fixed point faster? Yeah, you can like use... You don't usually need that much precision, right, inside of your floating points. Like, if you get down to... Like, I think 1/16 is probably like good enough, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably not good enough, but you know, you don't need that much precision. Like, you don't need, like, if you have a player position, it's more important to have like to be able to have 540, let's say this, right? 120. That is like more important than telling that you are at position 0.0000001, right? This is like, at least this part is maybe a little bit redundant than just saying this. You could just approximate it to this instead. But these values are important, that you are like super far away in a whole number, right? And that means that you can remove a lot of this information and make it, the data, more compact, and then it's like faster to transport over the internet as well, because you don't need to send this data, and probably you don't even need this much information over here, so you can also discard this thing because you're probably never gonna go this far. So you can, in that sense, save on both of them, and then you will just translate it back to an F32 on the actual. It's also kind of how should I say, like, this leaves room for errors when you have so much precision inside of the fractional part, because fractions is really like what is it called, sensitive for errors, like rounding errors in the fractional part, right? While integer is like, well, integer, if they are not as likely to have problems. Let's see, but I tried bitcast. Bitcast didn't work. Let's see why it would tell me to try to do a bitcast. No worries, no worries. I think I already tried bitcasting, but... Oh, but I didn't do that. No, I just kept it as read in. Okay, then it makes sense. But then you still do an int. Wait, okay. Let's see. Does that actually work? Because then I wouldn't do... No, but it still doesn't do... It's still doing integers. Damn it. Or am I actually just printing integers? There ain't no way. Camera. No, because the position is a F32. Yeah. So it should not be doing that. It still converts. No, it doesn't. I'm dumb as fuck. I just realized. Holy shit. Okay, let's go into here. System, server. And let's change it to 0.5. Oh my god. Let's see. Okay, now it, yeah, okay, I was just super dumb. Okay, so it can actually, okay. Okay, so it can send fractions, because the way I was thinking of doing fixed point wouldn't actually right now have been any benefit, it would just have increased the overhead. But I guess, for the moment, I don't think it's a bottleneck to actually send complete float point values then, and we can keep it like this. But it was fun to kind of like think a little bit about more about casting and this kind of stuff. We'll save that for a later moment. I will probably get back to it. Okay, I think now the important part is to get back to making hot reloading work, right? There's two places. First of all, we have to get it to work on this part, and then we also have to make it work on the server. I think the server would be more fun. It should not trigger a hot reload on both if I save on the server. Oops, right, my bad. Let's start the server first. I think I want a separate window, actually. Zig build run. To see it, if it, when it does the hot reload, how does it react? Alright, and then we'll go in here. And now, if I go here and I say, oh yeah, both of these should actually be 0.5 then. Let's see, save that. Ah, the hot reload worked. Awesome. So that means, let's see if, because right now if I press A or D, it will not move. But if I do if input dot, let's say left, I know this is not the way we should be doing it, but I don't really care at this point yet. Then we'll get the entity, and then that is X. And if it's left, then it's gonna be a minus equal. And I will just send that command over. And let's see. So if I now press A, nothing happened. It does receive though that these are being pressed, but it's not doing anything. It's interesting because the... No wait. Yeah, it works. Maybe I didn't save. Okay, okay, now it should work. Let's see. Yes! Look! We didn't have to restart the server or client, and we got a new function implemented. Ooh, or function, but logic. Oh, that's so sweet. That's perfect. Hello, hello. And then if we say right, there should happen a crash. I think still I'm conjunction. What's it called when you send commands too fast? I think that's what's going on. And the server should actually be able to... But yeah, now we can also go to the right. Oh my god, that's so perfect. And we can go multiple directions at the same time. Oh my god. That's so cool. Okay. Ah! Okay. Okay. Yeah, but the hot reload will not work on the client. I think here it will crash because we have a memory leak. So if I try to do something to the renderer, let's go to Vulkan. Actually, we can do something more fun first. We can go to the vertex shader, right? But that's not here. We have to go to here. And what we can do here is that for color, let's do something funny. Why can I not? We can give it this thing. Let's save that. And it should be able to reload that, but it doesn't seem to do it. Interesting. Wait, am I changing the right shaders? Vertex at vertex. It should be this thing. Ah, wait. So, boom. Okay, so that hot reload works. That's perfect. And then we should... Let's see if we do a change now to the renderer. I think this will crash. I think network congestion. Yes, congestion. That's the thing. Let's see. What could we change? What could we change? I think I have this thing here. So if I do this and I say it should crash, pretty sure it should. It didn't. Okay, so hot. Oh, no, there it went. Yes. Okay, good. Not good, but it was what I kind of expected, and yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it stopped sending data, but it didn't receive that the client disconnected because I don't send a disconnect request on crash. Weird. That's interesting. Yeah. So sparse image format properties Chronos. Why would it? What the fuck? Why would it crash there? Physical device image format properties 2. I'm not even making a call to this. What the hell? That's an interesting crash because I don't even have it. Wait, search grep. Utils. I do get capabilities, properties, family queue properties, but I don't directly myself call the thing that they are suggesting I should be calling. So that's an interesting one. Wait, let me try again. Like, why? Wah. Wah. Alright, and I will move out. And let's say I think that the line is too thick. I want it to be smaller. Yes. It does reload, but when I try to send an input, a command to the server, it crashes. Right, no, it makes sense. This is actually just a complete garbage thing that is trying to access. Right. It makes sense. Yes, okay. Because on the server I have implemented to... if I start it again, and we go into here and start the client as well, right? And then we can take it a bit over here. And then in the server, if we go to the net here, I handle the acceptance of a command. And let's say if I were now to say that, you know what? Right, this is not even going to work. No, it's going to work. I can just say here, if true, can I say return? So now there shouldn't be any commands handled. Let's see. So now if I press anything, yeah, nothing happens. Because on the server I do reload the accept, meaning the processing of the acceptance of an incoming connection or packet. So I can change the logic how it's being processed while people are connected. But if I now do this, and then I should be able to, yeah, now I can again process input. But I don't do this on the client. So I need to make sure that the client also reloads its sockets implementation, because right now what it's doing, it has a pointer to the function basically in a old binary that I no longer have loaded in memory, and then it tries to access it, and that's why I'm getting these weird ass things. And yeah, I still leak some damn memory somewhere. That makes sense then, right? That's valid. Okay, so what I will have to do is I will have to fix that. Let's see. And that happens in the network manager, I think I call it. So if you go to system and then yeah, because on init, this is a bit weird though still. Wait, dinit. Let me think. Memory leaks don't exist, you just need to ignore it and it will disappear. Oh my god. Yeah, but you know, it doesn't matter when you exit the application if it leaks, because the OS will take care of the memory, right? So... damn, I love water. But actually this should be easier on the client than on the server, because the client... it should call re-init on this thing over here and try to... actually, don't understand why I have issues with this, if I'm totally honest. But it's okay. We'll add a public function init, which will take itself, which will be a pointer to this, and we'll also take in an allocator, unless, well, I'll store the allocator so I don't need to take in one. Disappear with your PC if it's too much, but not a big deal, just restart it. Exactly! This guy gets it. And we have the IO, so if this happens, we'll take, first we'll have self-server listen, we have to close this thing, cancel, self.io, int, fuck, IO, and then self. Entity mapping dot init. Is there a mapping? Is there a free or something? Do I need to, or is that enough? Huh. Let's see. That should be the only thing I need to manage, I think. Let's see if I do a run. We're connected, and if I now go and do a change to the renderer, we'll put that back to that, and I need to, I don't know, it didn't register the save. Okay, good. Let's see, and now if I go and press a button. Fuck! Something is still doing the wrong thing, and I don't know what it is, because I'm not calling. Jesus, I'm stupid. Fuck! I still need to call the init. Network manager the init. That makes sense. I need to try. But I shouldn't need to try for a deal. That's just pathetic. And now, why is it now being problem? Cancel. Oh, okay, I was lying. I do need to try. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. And now we need to actually try in here. But then this thing also needs a... yeah, it's okay. Because I think I do catch errors. I used to catch errors. I don't do it anymore. Shit. Okay, we'll just we'll do pretty much the same thing that we do in here. And that. Let's see. Okay, we can. Oh, ay. Interesting. I think. Okay, that's because. I think that's because I'm not handling this information that is being passed through the sockets properly. This will also happen if I had multiple clients. I still need to parse a little bit of information before I do that, but it's okay. We'll fix it sometime. Okay, let's see. So now if I change this back, I feel pretty confident that this should work. Let's see. It works. It works. Hot loading is back, baby. Oh yeah. Both on server and client. Now, the window manager ain't good though. Super. Yeah. Okay. So now, let's see. What could we do? We could. Now I should probably get on with the. I think we should. There's two things I really want to do. A bit of cleanup for the client side, but also being having the multiple clients, but and then also this cleanup for the processing of commands. And we need to figure out why it's actually having unreachable. That's interesting. System constants deinit. Ah, it failed when it tried to cancel this thing. That's another thing I need to figure out, because I think I'm mistiming this, where the thread is still trying to listen, and then I call cancel, and then it fails, but I don't know how to kind of like get out of that yet, but we're gonna get to it in a bit. First of all, let's clean up this this thing, because we kind of want this to be a bit better, right? Because it's a bit it's just bad, all right? If it's an input press, what am I thinking? I would like to be able to just process this. This could also, all of them could be in the same. Why am I doing? Okay, Jesus Christ, I'm doing this so bad. First of all, this thing could go outside, because all of these ones will be able to write to the same command anyways. Yeah, so we're gonna get the same IDE anyways. And then this is the only thing that will happen, and then basically we'll just remove this and put it at the end. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Let's see, then we don't need to do that. And we can remove, wait, fuck, I remove this. And we can remove that. That one can also go, that one can also go. And we can remove this. Yeah. That should have the same behavior. And I have a few errors. Like so. Alright, so let's see. I think we could probably make this even better. We can remove all of this. Oh my god, it actually, I thought it would auto format. It didn't. Wait. Why not just do this? I already do it in here. But I cannot do this pressed. Or did I do the here input scale forward? Yeah, this is. I'm gonna have to do that, but we're gonna do it this with the info that the other time because you want to do it based on that. Which we could probably just when we get in here, because I already do this const dt dt. And then let's say up and then down. For me, up is minus. And that's gonna be the last one. Because it's the z-axis. X, Y, Z. Hold on. This ain't right. Wait. X, yeah? Y. Ah, okay, I'm so dumb. Thank God. Like that. Yeah. And this should now all be in one command instead of 3 separate commands. Let's try it out. Hallelujah, look at that. But I think it's not really doing the floating point right now, it's doing a whole value. Damn it! Fuck! So maybe we'll have to take in the floating point again. The fixed point, I mean. Ah! But yeah, they are now in the same command being processed, so if I press multiple keys, they will all be in the same. Really easy to read, as you clearly can see. Wait. Yeah. Woo! I think it's pretty fire. All right. Now this should actually take into consideration the actual. Oh shit! How do we make rotations work? Because how do I send a request to do a rotation? And how do... Oh, we need the damn rotors. I need to ask. I need to ask. I need to ask. I need to ask. Let's see. Oh no, I'm changing colors on the keyboard. No. Okay, good. Gilded. Oh, the rotors. Hello, I'm Spons. Hello, Spons. How are you? I'm Lucas. Let's see. It acknowledges the command. And then we're going here. Let's not do this anymore. We don't need that. This is also very old stuff. And improve with VPN. I wonder if the connect should even do anything here, or if it should just append. Because I already do logic here as well. Why am I doing it here? This feels a bit weird. Even though it's the initial one, I think it's fine, but it's also a little bit weird. Let's not do that. And yeah, because now what I would like to do is that let's see, if you go to system, network manager, let's see, this is actually a little bit weird still, this part. But network manager update here. So yeah, this is what I would like to fix now, because we kind of want to be able to have two players connected and move them both, but right now there's a small problem with this. If I start this thing and I start another one, which I clearly am capable of doing. Yes, good. Why is it still okay? We can remove position print. I could have auto-loaded that, didn't need to do this. We still have data somewhere being printed. Search thread data. And that's from network. Whenever I receive something. Yeah, stop doing that. Ah. What? Wait, how does... Don't I need that? Buffer... SS reader, parsed reader... Parsed, but... Reader, message, buffer. Oh, because it already reads into that buffer. That's why. Right. Well, actually, this is what we'll be using to fix this problem. So I'm not gonna keep it. And that should remove. Yes. So now we don't have any prints, and I can move out. And now, if I start another client. Let's see. It crashed, but the first one is still available. What the fuck? Easiest end to get camera. Yes, because it tried to attempt, and now this one should crash if I try to move. No, this one is still fine. Motherfucker, what the fuck? Interesting. And it says that there's two entities. That's okay, I guess. But yeah, that's where we want to use the message right now, because it receives, due to what's it called, UDP, every client receives this message, and then it thinks that an ID that doesn't exist for it is it, and then it breaks. Or that's my theory. I have no way to proving it, but that's what I'm thinking right now. So we're gonna have to fix that. Why is the time so much? Can somebody pause the time, please? I should actually be going, but I don't want to go now. I want to fix this thing, because this is where we're getting the message, right? And this is what I wanted to do, kind of like let's say, because okay, here, acknowledge. And this, let's see, it should run. Okay, we should see that it says entities. Let's see. Okay, it says 4 entities. Interesting. It's okay, I don't really care, but okay, I do care. Oh shit, this is gonna give such a headache trying to figure it out. We're gonna figure it out, okay? Because okay, this should be acknowledge. I'm gonna say ack, right, for acknowledge, and this is gonna be spawn. What we should see is 1 spawn, and then is it 3 acknowledge or not? What the fuck? That one should have been fine. So it said 1 acknowledge and 4 spawn, and then it tried to get. That may be because of. Okay, wait, let's try again. No, okay. Yeah, so we got a acknowledge. And then if I start another one, I think we're gonna get an acknowledge also on the first one. Maybe. Let's see. No, it just got a spawn. It also got hot reloaded, which is pretty funny. Yeah, okay, it just actually got... And I got spawn entity. This one, what did this one get? It got a acknowledge a spawn entity. But then when it tried to get the camera, attempt panic null. Okay, and then the server crashed, that's okay. Okay, we have a few problems. But why would it... Because what I'm thinking is that... Okay, I should have read that. But yeah, it goes in the update, right? Systems here. And then World DLC. Query entry. That means that there should be a camera. Wait, hold on. I need to read that message. Where is it actually coming from? And I forgot to start the server. Okay, let's see. It's coming from attempt to use null value network 68. So it tried update transform. There was an update transform that went through, and then I think what it is that it's trying to update its transform on an ID that doesn't exist on this new client, because that ID is the old client's. And I'm trying to enforce that there's no... Okay, it could exist, but the problem is that there is not that camera. There's a few problems with this. Oh no, this is not good. Spawn entity should also be mapped with this. Oh god, this is bad. But it's okay. This is where things are gonna get a bit funny. Okay. Let's change it first to be so that we're gonna use the transform, an actual transform instead of... Can we do... No, it cannot do that because the trick paths. Well, the camera still needs some kind of transform. But it's like more of a local transform. There should still be a transform on the... Well, I mean... We could have an update camera. Fuck. Okay, I really need to rethink this. Well, to begin with, to not make it crash, what we can do is this. It's a dumb fix. We shouldn't be doing it, but whatever. If camera, then do this. Then I will capture C. Just call it C. It's never... Well, it's gonna be mutated. I guess I will have to do this. Okay, they didn't like that. Const? That's not how you spell const. Okay, let's run that. And I forgot to start the server. And then here. This thing shouldn't crash. Let's see. Yes. And yes, I don't think we can move with this one yet, but we have two clients connected right now. And yeah. I should be able to disconnect with this one, and it should... Yeah, both client didn't get it though, but it's okay. Okay. Damn. I think I should move some logic out of the server. Like this part here should not do any logic, I feel like it should be happening in here, all in the same place. But the thing is that this thing cannot do that logic until it gets created. And it's convenient to do all of this in here. This video is sponsored by Sigma Doritos. Alright, fire, fire, fire. The only problem that I really got is that this is a transform. And I would probably like to... Should I just... Okay, I need... If I have... Oops. Let's say I got this. This is the actual cube, the player. Then they have their camera as well. Wow. I cannot draw. Okay. The camera has its own transform, but so does the actual cube, right? The thing that you are, the entity. And right now when we say transform update, I should probably just update this thing. But I also would like to be able... Well, the camera... Maybe that could be only client side. And this thing is the only thing that is actually replicated. Ooh, that could be better. Because it doesn't really matter, the camera can be like whatever it wants to be, right? If you're a client, right? You can look around whatever way you want to look. The only thing that matters for the other people to know kind of like where are you looking, but that you can take from the camera and send it to the server, and the server send back to your transform that you should be looking over here now. Or your transform, basically. So what we can do is we'll change it to that. This will not update correctly to begin with, but it will be a better approach. So in the update of System Network Manager here, update transform, what the fuck? Transform. I've been cooking. We get the command, and then now we'll ask for the actual numc.transform 3D F32. I don't know why my OSP is not with me today. It's kind of sad. And we don't have an numc here? Whoa, that's crazy. Shared.numc. And let's see. And then, because we'll no longer do it, will be just the transform. And if there is transform, we'll go T, and we'll continue on like that. Now, this should not any longer show any changes on, like if I try to move. We will be moving, but it won't just, oh wow. Wait, did I even have the, probably didn't. Okay, let's see. Yeah, but let's register the key press, that's pretty good. But now we want to also make it sure so that we actually do move. And how we're gonna do that is we do get the ID of the entity and we update the transform. when we do the system update, this is where it's a bit weird that we actually have it so scattered. But we're gonna query for the camera and for the NZ transform 3D F32. And then we can actually get here, paste it, and we can call transform. I should probably move this away to something more logical, but for now it's fine. NZ transform 3D F32. We should always get that, and then we can do. We'll do this whatever way, like so, and at the end, transform dot position camera dot transform that position is equal to transform that position. The most stupid way of doing this, but now we should fuck. I forgot to start the server again. We should be able to move, and we didn't even get a renderer up and running. What? Now that's crazy. I'm not aware of this, so it doesn't find a component that. Right? Yes, makes sense. So in the network manager here, when we create the camera, we also need to add a transform to it. And it will be just like so. Damn it. Or can I just leave it like that? I think that should be fine. Yeah, okay, let's see. And I forgot the render or the line, so that. There. Okay, let's see. Yes. And I think they should work with multiple clients now. No? This one still doesn't move. But I feel like this one should move. It should be able to send a request and be received. Like any other one of these are. They should both have their own unique set of them. They should both receive their own. This is weird. This is super weird. Weird. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just that position because it's easier to see it like this. 0, 0, 40. And again, forgot to start the server. Shouldn't have to restart it every time, but okay, so that one got received, that it got teleported. This one did not receive it. Okay. But why? Why is this happening? Oh, wait. Net. Socket. And then, no, because it should get from the right. std log debug received from any message from yeah, it's receiving from both. But why is it not then? Both of them are receiving it. Or it's receiving from both of the client. If I close this one, yeah, it gets smooth. And then I connect back with this thing. Now there are two different ports there. And that means when it goes into processing over here, it should go through each and every client. Iterate through clients. Pair. And then it gets the command for that. And then it goes through the commands and it will see that they are always sending the inputs. And then it should receive client entity ID, which on creation, oops, it was assigned by whatever ID, so it should be able to send that. And the clients, when they get the acknowledge, I mean, unless if it doesn't get the acknowledge. Does it get the acknowledge? Yeah, it got that it got acknowledged. But yet when I press buttons, nothing happens. std debug print. Let's see my ID, and we'll say %d, and then comma server ID, like so. And then we can do this, and we will just say, so my ID is just I add int from enum new camera, I don't want to call it that, and then the server ID is the thing that we get from the command, which is command acknowledge ID. And we have errors. Great. Why do we have errors? Expected a comma? Right. Like so. So if I do that, then I reconnect. My ID is 0, server ID is 2, 1. That cannot. Oh yeah, because this one's ID will be 0 actually. So if I disconnect with this thing, my ID is 0, server ID is 0. That makes sense. And if I connect a third client, server ID is 6, my ID is 0. Yeah, so they do all have their own unique IDs, but yet when I do something, there's only one that actually gets. That's so weird, I cannot understand. I feel like this should be fine. Client. Am I passing the wrong ID perhaps? No, because then server should crash if I were to pass the wrong ID. So why is it? Why is it doing this? Okay, we're gonna do a bit of a funny print. We don't have to have this many clients, 2 is enough. Gonna yank this and say fake Lucas doing networking. Oh my god, how dare you, you little Lucas. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print client address. Well, that's not really readable, is it now? But wait, I can probably just do this, yeah. Client address, there are 2 different ones that are being processed. And then I'm gonna do, okay, we can do this if I go forward. We'll do this, and then we'll also do this, right? I think that's a pretty good thing. It's not saving. Oh wait, it says received from, yeah, it fixed. Search grep receive from, that's, because that works, it does receive it. And now if I press forward here, yeah, you can see that. And if I press forward in here, it does register it, which is funny. But I don't receive it back on the client side. the server does receive, but both of they can receive from both clients that the message is actually getting there. But the one of the clients are not there. They are not with it. They are like, no. Okay. Okay, we have to do a bit of a change then, I guess, to the clients. Let's take a look in here. So, if you get an update transform, and how should... But they should only... They always get an update transform either way, so this is just gonna spam them both. But what I'm thinking is that shouldn't... This is so weird. If I have a listen here, and then I get the message, even if it was... It should append that command no matter what, right? Okay. Jesus Christ, why? I cannot understand. But it does do the acknowledge. That's the funny part, that it does acknowledge. But when it comes to the update, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is not funny. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna take it from here. Then in the update, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna say... Why not that? So we're gonna say server ID, and then we can say just what do we have in the self? Self dot. Actually, no, I'm more curious. No, it is self. Stream. No, because it will not be that thing. No, that's it. Oops. Panic access union field, acknowledge field update trans. But that should just be a... That should be a valid. No, it doesn't like it. Command. Brother. This was the wrong one. Update. I'm so dumb. There, boom. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so there it spams that it receives this, whatever. And it does receive it also from here. Great. Now neither of them works. Fantastic. So it is only the first one that ever works. Pee pee poo poo. That's crazy. Because the IDs are correct. But it's only the first ID that seems to be... What the fuck am I doing? I must be sending the wrong ID. I am sending the wrong ID. I must be sending the wrong ID. Wait. No, I'm sending the right one. What? Because I do say client entity ID over here. Which corresponds to their... Am I asking for the right... Wait. In here. Right. But there's this small thingy that I will have to do if I want this to work. I can never just arbitrarily say that yes, this is the thing. I will also have to do a quick let's see, because yes, this thing do give me get this thing, but I will have to get from self dot entity map get. I have to do this, that's why nothing works. Command ID, and this is the actual ID. I've kind of forgot. And then if ID null, I will just continue. Otherwise we can just go in here now and add. Alright, we probably have to do that as well. Found expected root. Okay, first of all we have to do this, and then we have to do enum from int, like so. And let's see. No, now all of them are broken because it doesn't find them. What? No. Heyo YouTube peeps. Hello, Hermpole. You're going to YouTube, bro. I have 2 minutes unskippable ad. Been thinking about that all day. Wait, what? You've been thinking about pee pee poo poo all day. But yeah, here I put the acknowledge ID. And then I have the new camera. Right, this should actually be the transform. Well, it is the transform. And then in here I will just get entity pointer transform. It should be fine, but I don't seem to be able to move. But yeah, it's not because I'm not getting this print. So that's why. Debug. Okay, so no, that's not funny. I feel like now at least I should be having the right. Oh, right, that's another thing. Okay, and I don't free that, but let's see. Now I'm 100% sure this should work. Okay, let's see. And then if I go here And I connect another client. Hallelujah. Both clients works. Or they used to work. This thing broke. No! What am I doing wrong this time? No! Why? You accidentally remove a client. No! It's the latest client that connects that will be able to do stuff. That's fantastic. Yeah. No! It might be sleepy time. It might be sleepy time. But we're so close. We're so close to be able to move on both clients. Man, we're this close. Oh, shit. We're so close. Oh man. Okay, why is it so why is it the case now that it's not working? Because I feel like we get created here, we store the ID that the ECS provided to us. We send the acknowledge command, which will get this thing, and then the next one connects, it will be sent this thing. They cannot swap these IDs, right? Let's see. ID. And then...
Hey-o!
Oh,
Hey-o!
is it Damon? Hello, Damon. How are you, my Mr. Damon?
Not everybody white guy sounds like Damon now. That's kind of racist.
I didn't say you were white.
What?
Are you assuming your race? I feel
You're assuming you're assume.
Oh shit, bro.
Did you get networking up yet or what? Or
Yeah.
Still in beta?
I have networking and it's kind of funny because it kind of works. The first
kind of beta?
The latest client that connects is the only client that can move.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you send a little bit of beep boop here and a little bit of beep boop there, and then synchronize and
yeah. And that was what I was thinking. But then I forgot that I cannot think.
Ooh.
Yeah, you see, that's a problem.
Like when you're trying to hit the peak and then someone just randomly slaps you.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate that too. Knocks you right out of it, you know?
Yes, very much. Let's see, server ID, and then here I will just say my ID. Right. Yeah, it hot reloaded that. Good. Yo, what's up, Samelia? Okay, so server ID, my ID, and it says it didn't say.
Did you know Claude code got leaked?
Yeah, I heard
Did you hear about
it. Yeah, I did.
Did you hear? There's guard railings in there to like, if you swear at it, it sends info back to the analytics so they know how to upgrade the AI.
What the fuck?
It looks for like swear words and stuff. Yeah, it looks for when you're pissed off, and then it sends it to analytics so the team can upgrade the system.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. Okay, so yeah, client ID 9. Let's see. This should say client ID 10 then. Or 8, but 8 is fine as well. And it does receive that its ID is 9, but somehow... Right, because it triggers a hot reload. And the hot reload does not preserve the... Oh, no. Okay, it makes sense. I need this thing to be preserved through... no. This is something that... Yo, no, my client is stable and well. You just got to have some more time. Yes. I just realized that the problem is in this thing. This in general should not be... The only thing that needs to be reloaded is this listen thing. Okay, and also the update. Will also... But like, I somehow need to preserve this entity mapping, because now when I do a reload, you know, that entity mapping is kind of...
Look at the pretty colors.
Pretty colors. Yes, they are very pretty, very much. That's why it doesn't work. And there's two ways I could go about it. One is to just completely get rid of this dinit and init hot reload, but then we'll have problem with global states. And the other way is to... What's the other way? Maybe that's what I will have to sleep on, but this is the problem right here. What if I... Okay, we can do it this in a very nasty, ugly way. Where we'll just say... Haha, this is so bad. Null, right? And then what we can do in here is if self entity mapping is null, then we'll do this. And then we'll just leak this memory actually on the on when we close the application. Yeah.
Hey yo.
That's
Welcome. Goodbye. That was random.
Random? I'm random.
Hey, welcome.
Guys,
welcome.
look. Now it's going to work. I am guaranteeing it.
Welcome.
I guarantee it's going to work. 100%. Fuck, it didn't. Wait. Oh shit, server died. I was pretty sure that should have worked. But it's like it's still doing the freeing of the... But... No, it does receive, yeah, that I'm pressing W on the thing. Why does it register? It is like somehow still using the old... How can it... Okay, what we're gonna do... Fuck, I should go hit that bed, but I really am like so close, so close. What we're gonna do is in here, paste, and we're gonna say size. So now I'm feeling like this should actually be okay. And this is from self.entity mapping. Can I get len or amount, items, iterator? Can I get somehow how many there are? Capacity. Returns the number of total elements which may be present before it's no longer guaranteed. Where did I put the print? It should be there. I don't see it. Okay, size 0. Yeah, size went down to 0. Size is 8 on this one. I don't understand how it resets because we do not free it. But it is 0 somehow. Network manager system. Oh, network manager is, but it's inside context, and context is passed as a pointer, so it should be persistent. That memory either way. Okay, we can try one more thing. We are really making this thing awful. I need to spend a dedicated session on just fixing this. But if this is null, self dot entity mapping is equal to allocate create this is so bad. I hate it. This is so disgusting, but it's okay. Just to get it to work, and then we'll fix it. And then we'll do that. And right, it needs a try. Even though I feel like that shouldn't be necessary.
Hey, welcome, welcome.
Who? Yo, dude, remember brain rot cool Zig? No, I actually don't. Expected pointer found. Alright. So there's 8, and let's. And it went down to 0 somehow. I don't understand how it can do it. Because right now that memory should be pretty damn persistent. And it doesn't call B in it anywhere on this thing. Yank. Search grep. Let's see. Put. Debug. No, it doesn't. So I don't understand how it. This is bullshit. I'm telling you guys. Why? Why? I was in your stream 2 days ago. You were in my stream 2 days ago? I'm sorry. My brain has not. It's I don't know if you have a profile picture, because it's really hard for me to see. I kind of have to remember by name, and that's like super hard. If you had a profile picture and I would be able to see it, that would be doable, I guess, then. But without profile picture, and so I'm like, oh, names are so hard. Or if you probably do have a profile picture, I just don't see them. Let's see, I could actually see. I think I can see it through here. Wait. Ba-ra-ba-ba. Can I not? There. What is that? That's some Picasso shit right there, I'm telling you. What's okay? Okay, thanks. Why is it resetting the damn array? Or the map? I don't understand. It shouldn't reset the map under any circumstances. Why is it resetting the map? Because it's zeroed somehow. I don't understand. How can it be zeroed out? What is that? I don't know. Oh, whatever. I should clean my keyboard. How can it get zeroed out? How? Doesn't make sense. On a hot reload, it would be zeroed out. Because the memory is still from the original executable. And this thing actually lives inside of it. It doesn't live inside the DLL or SO or dynamic library. So, I mean, I would understand if the whole thing just got resetted. Wait. No, but still, that doesn't really make sense. What if we changed it? Be like that. This is so bad. Okay, I think I in general just need to rethink this a little bit. This could perhaps... how dare you don't remember me, Lucas? I mean my profile pic, not your code. Ah, no worries. I don't dare to. I do not dare to remember Elliptic, man. That guy is crazy, man. Be careful. Gonna ready to do. Continue here. Fix the damn hash to be persistent on hot. Reload. Also clean up this structure in it. Lol, actually. Damn. We will continue from here tomorrow. I will go hit the bed and try to cook something up.
Good night.
So yeah, thank you for joining today. You have all been very cool people. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Hit the bed and